Is this it right here? Is this the restart that everybody wants to talk about?
This is the moment.
So this is a lot of the time. This is the first time I'm seeing a lot of these. So let's go ahead and roll the tape.
He has helped you.
All right, so we're only 7 wide getting into 1. So the 16 gives me a big push. Big block out of the 8. And then I get to the left rear of the 8, spin him out. So
were you expecting him to block you? Or were you thinking,
it was
okay, I got it?
I knew I had it. The 16 gave me a huge run. So he hung a left and got, like, hit my headlight and blocked me. But still, there wasn't any frustration there. It's like, okay, that's part of it. Let me try to keep favoring down to the left.
Yeah.
So once he blocks me here, I'm like, all right, I got to get back up. So I'm looking in my mirror. I'm checking if I'm clear with the right recorder. But what I was confused about, and still confused about, pause this. So this is the in-car camera, the 8. Somebody mentioned that he was on the chip. So I think this clip right here changes my entire perception of it. Because you watch it, and I'm like, maybe I did hook him on accident. Maybe I misjudged his left recorder trying to fall in line because he threw what was a late block. I was going to cut him some slack and just blend and live to fight another day, right? The top lane's going to probably roll at this point in time because your momentum's killed. But I'm not. I think sometimes at the deficit, and my team gets on me a lot about this, is like I try to be, in most instances, like the guy that races like with respect. Cut guys' brakes, don't lean on guys. And now, as unpin the talk from earlier,
you've let the dog off the front porch.
Yeah, well, because everybody takes advantage of. All right, well, the 7's behind me. If I block him, he's gonna lift.
Yep, and you can't.
And after 2 months of constantly hearing what you did this in this restarter, and you let this guy in, or why'd you not use up this real estate? It's like, okay, like I guess I'm gonna have to change my driving style and be more aggressive because you see it work out for. Used to be Ross Chastain in the beginning of the next-gen car. Right now, Carson's doing a good job on maintaining his position on a restart, and he drives uber aggressive, all the time, and that's a bit of adjustment for me because I've been raised by Randy LaJoie saying you race people with respect, you don't hit anybody, you definitely don't turn them around, and if you do, you got to you go help fix their shit if you wreck them, right? That's what my dad would say.
Yeah.
So,
well, and we've all hit enough walls that that's not the goal, right?
So as I try to replay it back, and I hadn't seen, I wish I'd have done an interview with some replays before I said anything because I didn't know. Yeah, I probably am more, I don't know if remorseful is the right word, but I do feel bad for even for Kyle. Like I would.
Yeah, you don't want to wreck anybody.
End his day.
Yeah.
Randall Burnett, like we're buddies. Like I don't want to wreck anybody's day. So here, watching the in-car of the 8 is what makes it make more sense in my mind of how it all went down. So you listen to it here. Let's key it up. Okay, you hear how much he was on the chip there?
Yeah, banging the chip.
So when you're that deep in traffic, you're in between grabbing 4th and 5th gear. And the Chevys anymore, I don't know if Toyotas and Fords do it, but they have it just a flat shift. So the engine gets up to a certain RPM, you just put some load on the shifter, and it cuts timing and it falls into gear.
Right.
You don't get high enough in the RPMs early enough to pull 5th. You have to, I say manually, you have to blip and pull 5th on restarts.
Okay, got it.
So he was in between 4th and 5th here, and you heard it on the chip. So play my in-car. Big shot out of 16. Okay, I'm going to take the run here. Like 3 miles an hour. Big block. So, and it's easy to sit here on Monday morning and break it down. Look at it on TV, and Jeff Burton says, looks like he just wrecked him on. Who knows? But
that's awesome.
I can tell you it wasn't intentional. I'm sure Jeff had a particular opinion on it because his son was tore up in the incident as well. But the amount of time the 8 was in the chip there was like 50 yards.
Yeah, that's pretty far. Yeah.
So when he throws the initial block, I still had some forward momentum in relation to him, But then it evened out. And then I was planning on trying to kind of blend back behind him, but at the same time I was committed to kind of fill and get behind him is when he was in the chip.
When you see the corner and you're like, I might not make it. I got to get back up somehow. Right. I would assume.
So the amount that he was in the chip, I didn't anticipate his car losing that momentum relative to mine. I spun him out, took out several good cars behind me, which I do feel bad about on Monday.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think they played Sparks' radio, who has been adamant to me about, hey, you got to be more aggressive. Stop giving these guys breaks. Like the era of gentleman driving and you cut a break and then you're going to get a break later, those deals are off.
Yeah.
So he was particularly fired up after this.
He hooked himself.
Yeah, I ain't worried about him. It's all about us. Focus forward here. Yeah, you let him have it the first time, second time he got what he deserved. All good.
Naturally fired up.
Yeah.
He is.
He's Team 7.
He's Team 7.
Yeah, he's Team 7.
I mean, left Richard Childress a while ago. Doesn't really care to go back.
Right.
You know,
right.
so
sure.
He's fired up.
How long have y'all worked together?
5 years now.
5 years?
I think that that audio was played on TV as if it were me saying that. And then I think Kim maybe corrected it, is what I heard from somebody. I thought
it was Stephen Parsons at first. I'm like, man, he's pretty vocal for being up there on the roof for a few weeks.
So like so I hear this, like I see it from my windshield. I see it all go down. Right. The only thing that I have to see is my memory, which is probably vague because it's like a bang decision.
Yeah.
You're trying to get leverage. You're trying to maintain your position, and you get blocked, and then next thing you know, several guys wreck, and it's not you. Then you hear Sparks, and it's like, okay, I'm good. I'm not in the wrong, is what I'm thinking at the moment.
You're
I get out,
moving on.
You know, and Jesse Punch sticks a mice at my face. Bob Pockers was there, which I guess appreciate, and maybe Kyle Busch hadn't seen any replays, but I haven't. This is the first time I'm hearing it.
What happened?
No, I just want to thank all of our partners and everybody that's been behind our program at RCR, ECR Engines, obviously Zone Nicotine Pouches, and Cheddar's, Lucas Oil, everybody for their support and continuing to back us and be behind us, and of course the fans and Rowdy Nation as well too.
It seemed like there was an issue between you and LaJoie. Is there a conversation that needs to be had?
Nah.
All right, frustrated Kyle Busch down here as he is out at the race early.
So that makes me a little nervous, and I might have to pull my belts a little bit tight. That's what that interview.
Where do we go next? Indy?
Indy.
Okay.
Yeah, my belts will be. Let me make sure my headrest foam is. The gaps are a little bit tightened up because.
Yeah. Well, you got a good seat, so that's good.
I got a good seat, but you know he's thinking something vastly different than what he's saying, right?
Yeah.
With how the 8 team has had this year, I have just now yesterday helped with how bad their year is going, unfortunately, and you know I texted him. Maybe I should call him. Maybe I should send him flowers. I don't know.
Yeah. No text back?
No.
Yeah.
No text back.
That's all right.
But
at least you know you'll see him in 5 days?
What's probably going to happen, like it always does, whenever you run into somebody, you're in the driver intro truck next to him. We're going to qualify 14th and 15th and be next to each other and be scrapping. I am going to have my eyes peeled out in case somebody's holding Richard Childress's watch.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if somebody's holding his watch, I better be checking over my shoulder.
Richard's awesome. He's awesome. That's good stuff.
But
you'll be okay. Maybe is the family going up with you to Indy?
No.
I was going to say if they were, you just bring them to driver intros. Like you can't be scrapping if you got the kids there.
No, I'll be solo.
Oh, okay.
I do feel like a conversation's warranted there.
Yeah.
I do feel worse about it on Monday than I did on Sunday night because now I see everything. It makes more sense to me as, you know, people that are, you know, on Reddit are probably having their own opinions on what happened, but that's just how aggressive you have to be on restarts, and you have to take momentum when you get it. And I'll take some blame there. I think that if Kyle pulls 5th gear and the momentum of his car doesn't change as much, then I don't turn him around. I think we just roll around the corner and keep him moving.